Welcome to Old Walter Fitness. I'm Walter Cecil, and today we're going to talk about the first video I put up about 3 months ago, where I said you were going to live to be 110 years old, and the reaction I got from it. The number one was, "You must be crazy. I'll never live that long." The other one was, of course, "I don't want to live to be 110. Which reminds me of me about 30 years ago. I don't want to lose my hair. So what? Who cares? It didn't matter that I didn't want to lose my hair. It's gone. It doesn't make any difference what I wanted. Let's talk about pirates. Remember the pirates, famous pirates of the Caribbean? Wow, what a swashbuckling life they led. They fought, they were in combat, they took ships from other people. It's all a lot of baloney. Most of the pirates were actually shanghaied off of ships that they raided because the rate of death among pirates was so very, very high. The problem was, when a pirate ship saw another pirate or another ship and they wanted to take it over, they put up a flag. It wasn't the skull and crossbones flag, it was a red flag. The flag indicated that they were pirates and that they were bloodthirsty and would slaughter you if you did not surrender. Most of the ships just slowed up and let the pirates take over. The exception was the military vessels that were out hunting them. Those they had to fight, and the pirates usually ran. Most of them were 14 to 25 years old. They didn't live long lives. A 30-year-old pirate was an old pirate, very often the captain of the ship. 35-year-old pirates just didn't exist. Why? Not that their lifespan was bad. They didn't have the medical attention that they needed to stay alive when something went wrong. One cut, one wound from a round bullet was the end of their lives. They got infection, they died. They died from lack of water. We have plenty of it today. They didn't have clean water. They didn't have fresh food. They got by on less food, less water. They carried rum because rum was necessary. It didn't spoil. It was a tough life. You go ahead to the factory area, you go to the early 1900s. Let's go back 30 years before that. In around 1870 to 1900, Otto von Bismarck, the Prussian general who put together the German Federation, he put in a retirement age of 65, fully expecting that nobody was going to live that long. Well, he was right at the time, but he's wrong today. One of the big things that we don't know is what the actual life expectancy of a healthy human body can be. A few years ago, my wife and I had dinner with a professor and his wife who had just retired from the University of Southern California. And he had been working for years on a project at USC on the life expectancy of a healthy human body. And they came to the general conclusion that a human body could live to 147 to 155 years if it was properly taken care of, had proper nutrition. Wow, 147 to 155 years old? That's kind of a shocker. And they may actually be right for certain people who have the perfect diet, perfect balance of exercise in their life, and a great environment in which they live. And this is kind of where you have to head with what we're doing here. I've been emphasizing exercise more than I have other things. But in my life, diet has been very, very critical. And actually, since I changed my diet about 10 years ago, I have found I feel better, I actually eat more, and my weight has dropped a little bit. As far as the environment goes, you know, if you smoke, you got a problem. It's just the general things in life we're all aware of. Clean air, clean water. just taking care of ourselves and not putting ourselves in positions that are compromising and where we can get injured. That's about all you can do with the environment. We don't control much over it personally. I noticed 2 days ago watching a Prudential commercial for people that are in, I guess, 55 to 65 age group. They were talking about how much money have you saved for retirement? Were you planning on the old standard of 15 years after retirement? You need that much money? They actually stretched it out to 30 to 35 years after you retire. This is a repeat of something I saw in the Vanguard group, where they have gone from protecting people's assets to the age of 100 to trying to protect their assets to the age of 110. So if we look back through history, we'll see that without much question, we're all living longer, and the same thing may happen to you. We may live longer. It may happen to me. I may live longer. I have gone on a blood type diet. I believe the diet has helped me tremendously. It's based on the fact that I eat the way my ancestors ate. I got the suggestion from a doctor when I was having a routine physical about 10, 12 years ago. I said, "Doc, how come my wife and I eat the same foods? We eat, basically, I eat a little more in quantity, but we've been doing it now for 40 some years. And my cholesterol is high and my blood pressure is elevated. My wife, on the same diet, has low cholesterol and no blood pressure problems. Why is it that there is such a difference?" And he said, "Walter, talk to your ancestors." That's where it starts. I did a little research. I came across a book by Dr. D'Adamo, The Blood Type Diet. He was a second generation in his family that had studied it. His father had started in the 1920s investigating blood type diets. I don't necessarily recommend that you go on one, but it is something to take a look at. There are pros and cons. If you go on the internet, you'll see all of them. But I have noticed that with the people that are on it, they do very well. And generally, people in their 80s that I talk to say they are very big on their diet. And these are the healthy people I'm talking about. Combination of diet and exercise and, of course, environment. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it. The next video coming up, by the way, is, again, I'm changing my exercise program a little bit. I'm using more gymnastic and calisthenic moves, and the video is going to be on the L-sit. So there's some actually on YouTube now, very, very good ones, but I've never done an L-sit, never been able to do one. So I'm going to have, once a month, I'm going to come back with an L-sit video, keeping track of my progress. But the first one coming up, and it's going to be a little pathetic, will be my next video. Anyway, thanks again. If you enjoy this, click the subscribe button. If you like it, click the like button. And of course, if you want to share it, go ahead and share it. Have a great day, and oh yes, cue the dogs.